The date is January 28, 1986.
4, 3, 2, 1.
When Space Shuttle Challenger launches on a January morning in 1986, a key engineer is sure a catastrophe is coming.
We've got to stop the flight. We cannot let Challenger launch, period. This is insane.
He thinks the ship is going to explode.
And liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
73 seconds later, disaster strikes. 7 astronauts die in front of their families and millions of television viewers. What really happened during that fateful flight? Was tragedy inevitable? Or could the shuttle and its crew have made it into space?
Could they have made it? That question haunts me.
Krista McAuliffe.
All of America will be reminded of the crucial role that teachers and education play in the life of our nation.
11,000 teachers actually applied to go to space.
On July 19, 1985, Vice President Bush makes the big announcement.
The teacher who will be going into space, Krista McAuliffe. Is that you?
Krista McAuliffe was a civics and history teacher. She was 37, a mother of a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, a wife. She was a perfect figure for publicity.
McAuliffe's mission is scheduled for January, only 6 months away. The anticipation and publicity surrounding a teacher in space will add pressure to keep this mission on schedule, and that pressure will have consequences. This rubber gasket is called an O-ring. O-rings are used in a bunch of ways: to seal air inside of scuba tanks, to keep your hose nozzle from spraying everywhere, and to keep beer flowing on tap. Engineers from Morton Thiokol, a NASA subcontractor, built these giant 13-foot O-rings for the rocket boosters. Think of rocket boosters like stacked metal cans stuffed with highly explosive propellant. When material inside the rocket booster heats up during launch, the O-ring prevents gas from finding an opening, like water in a tea kettle escaping through a spout. If gas does leak, it could cause an explosion. When Space Shuttle Discovery returns from space in January of 1985, NASA engineers find a problem with this O-ring. And how it happened is an eerie foretelling of the Challenger disaster, still a year away. One of the O-rings from Discovery's mission has burned. A little piece of it is missing. It's compromised. And as it turns out, the problem with it getting hot has everything to do with it being cold during Discovery's launch. It's the night before launch. In a typical January, low temperatures in Cape Canaveral would be around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But this isn't a typical day. Temperatures tonight would drop below freezing.
This was an epic cold snap across the South. It had never been that cold on that calendar day in Cape Canaveral, Florida.
The next morning at Cape Canaveral, hours before liftoff, the temperature bottoms out at 20 degrees. At liftoff, it will be the coldest launch in history, 36 degrees. Technicians have used brooms to remove icicles some 2 feet long from the shuttle and the launch pad.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2,
1.
And liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
60 seconds in, the Challenger reaches 35,000 feet at speeds of Mach 1.5. Everything appears smooth until it doesn't.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles. Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
As the Challenger was taking off, the O-rings had shrunk during the extreme cold weather. The hot gases leaked out of the side of the solid rocket booster. 73 seconds after liftoff, we begin to see a flame shooting out of the side of the solid rocket booster.
20 degrees. At liftoff, it will be the coldest launch in history, 36 degrees. Technicians have used brooms to remove freezing.
This was an epic cold snap across the South. It had never been that cold on that calendar day in Cape Canaveral, Florida.
The next morning at Cape Canaveral, hours before liftoff, the temperature bottoms out at 20 degrees. At liftoff, it will be the coldest launch in history, 36 degrees. Technicians have used brooms to remove icicles some 2 feet long from the shuttle and the launch pad.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
We have main engine start. 4, 3,
2, 1.
and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
60 seconds in, the Challenger reaches 35,000 feet at speeds of Mach 1.5. Everything appears smooth until it doesn't.
115 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles. Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
As the Challenger was taking off, the O-rings had shrunk during the extreme cold weather. The hot gases leaked out of the side of the solid rocket booster. 73 seconds after liftoff, we began to see a flame shooting out of the side of the solid rocket booster. That flame acted like a torch, cut into the liquid fuel tank and ignited all of that fuel. Then the entire vehicle just came apart.
Following this fireball and the breakup of the shuttle, for over an hour, there were pieces of the shuttle and the rocket still raining down from the sky.
For a lot of people watching the Challenger launch, it's probably the first time they had been confronted with people dying.
Ronald Reagan postpones the State of the Union address for the first time ever, and instead gives one of his most memorable speeches.
We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye, and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.
T-minus 2 minutes.
With so much fuel in one place, the risks are clear to everyone. But in the history of American spaceflight, no astronaut has ever been killed at liftoff. A comforting fact for some.
I suppose every once in a while you'd think about it, but you'd say, oh, NASA can do no wrong. And like Krista said, you know, Mom, she said that shuttle, they can shut that down the very last second if anything's wrong.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Almost immediately, the shuttle begins a maneuver to roll over, putting the spacecraft on the correct trajectory for orbit.
Good roll, flight. Raj, good roll. Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading downrange.
Challenger is already traveling at nearly 1,600 kilometers per hour. As it climbs beyond the 10-kilometer mark, a severe crosswind suddenly slams into the shuttle. Over 3,000 kilometers away, engineer Roger Beaujolais is watching in horror. Challenger is on the verge of disaster. As Challenger rockets upwards, it's traveling 9 times faster than a speeding bullet. 58 seconds into flight, it encounters a side wind, but a second later, the shaking stops. Now comes the most critical part of the ascent. A phase known as Max Q, where the aerodynamic forces are at their greatest. Travel too fast, and the shuttle will break apart. Mission Control, under the command of Flight Director Jay Green, ordered Challenger to throttle down her engines.
3 at 65. 65, Fido.
Detail confirms throttles.
Thank you.
At 66 seconds, Challenger gets the all clear. It has made it safely through Max Q and enters the thinner air of the upper atmosphere. Now it must accelerate to over 28,000 kilometers per hour to escape Earth's gravity. It's time to turn up the main engines to full power. Mission Control gives the cue.
Challenger, go with throttle up. Challenger, go with throttle up.
Suddenly, Challenger is engulfed in a massive fireball. Mission Control are stunned. They lose all contact with the spacecraft.
Flight GC, we've had negative contact. Lost downlink.
Their data hasn't indicated that anything was wrong.
Okay, all operators, watch your data carefully.
Nobody is sure quite what has happened. Krista's parents can't believe their eyes.
The shuttle was gone. And we all knew, everybody knew that something was wrong. Something horrible was wrong, but of course nobody knew what it was.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
At that moment when we were most excited, it came crashing down.
The boosters remain intact, careering wildly off course. For safety, they are destroyed by remote control.
You know, you just hope, against all odds, that the orbiter was able to separate.
As the spiraling debris falls to Earth and plunges into the Atlantic, it's becoming all too clear what has happened.
Flight Fido. RSO reports vehicle exploded.
400. 300.
We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. Flight director confirms that. We are looking at
100.
checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point.
40.
We were just so
30.
stricken
20.
that this had happened because I never expected anything
10.
to happen. It was unreal.
Incredibly, as the wreckage emerges from the fireball, the crew compartment is still in one piece.
Fido flight, go ahead. Do the RSOs have an impact point? Stand by.
At Mission Control, Jay Green gets the exact location where the wreckage hit the ocean.
DoD also reports that all SOC forces have been scrambled and they are on their way.
A massive search and rescue operation is immediately set in motion. They're hoping that the astronauts may still be alive. Then, they spot a parachute lowering from the sky. But it's a false hope. The parachute is only attached to the nose of one of the boosters. It's just part of the debris that continues to rain down over the Atlantic. The crew compartment can no longer be seen. Having fallen over 19 kilometers, it must have hit the ocean at over 320 kilometers per hour. The crew didn't stand a chance.
We became numb, speechless, and our hearts were shattering, much like those pieces that were falling from the sky.
When salvage teams manage to locate the remains of the crew module, what they discover is truly horrifying. Space Shuttle Challenger was traveling at nearly twice the speed of sound when it was torn into thousands of pieces. With little evidence to go on, NASA have an almost impossible task to work out exactly what took place. But with the recovery of the crew compartment, they should be able to piece together what happened to the astronauts after the massive blast. The crew's helmets give NASA their biggest lead. Each astronaut had an air supply attached to their helmet to be used in an emergency. In the wreckage, NASA finds that 3 of them had been activated. It's a horrifying discovery. It means that at least 3 of the astronauts survived the explosion and could have been alive during the fall to Earth, a journey of over 2.5 minutes. At the memorial service, President Reagan pays tribute to the brave crew. All the relatives of the astronauts are there, including June and her family.
We were just barely able to put...
We can finally reveal exactly what caused the Shuttle Challenger disaster 73 seconds after liftoff. 73 seconds to disaster. The solid rocket boosters ignite. Inside the right booster, the O-rings have been hardened by the freezing temperatures and are unable to keep the lowermost field joint sealed. They start to burn away.
And liftoff. Liftoff.
As superhot gases escape, small pieces of aluminium slag from the rocket fuel build up and block the hole, preventing a catastrophe on the launch pad. 15 seconds to disaster as Challenger enters a fast-moving yet very narrow jet stream. It is shaken violently. The aluminium slag is dislodged. Almost immediately, a flame appears on the right solid rocket booster. Eight seconds to disaster. With blowtorch intensity, the flame penetrates the external tank, and liquid hydrogen starts to spill out. 1 second to disaster. The attachment between the booster and the tank breaks free, and the entire bottom section of the tank gives way. The Inferno thrusts the hydrogen compartment upwards into the oxygen-filled container, just as the nose of the booster crashes into the top of the external tank. Nearly 2 million liters of fuel combust instantaneously. The shuttle breaks apart.